Now you can follow me on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/UltraMaximusReviews. Cybertron Weekly is your central hub for everything Transformers.
Oh, hey, look, it's Slag. Username over in the United Kingdoms means a slut.
Hello YouTube, Ultra Maximus back with another toy review, and today we're taking a look at another Transformers figure, and it's from Power of the Primes. It's Dinobot Slug, also known as Slag. I found this at my local Walmart for retail. This is the first time I've seen the Power of the Primes at my local Walmart. I was really excited. They had a swoop, they had Slug here, and they had the whole first wave of the deluxe figures. They didn't have any of the little Prime Master figures, which was unfortunate. I wanted to get a Liege Maximo, but they did not have him, alas. But they had this guy, and I definitely wanted to pick him up because I got to get all the Dinobots. So let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging. So here we have Slug in the packaging, and it's very similar to what we got with Swoop. We get this really nice artwork of his Triceratops form up here. It says Transformers, Generations, Power of the Primes. There he is. He comes with a gun. There is his armor slash foot slash hand. There he is in the dinosaur mode, and it kind of wraps around, which is pretty cool. So just kind of a close-up. There is the artwork looking really nice. Here he is in package, and then it's Power of the Primes. There's his dino mode, and it kind of goes over to the side there with more artwork of the robot. Actually, it's Volcanicus right there, which is pretty interesting. Back of the package shows you, hey, it works with all of these Power Prime Master figures, I guess. I definitely want Liege Maximo, and probably all of them, really. My Cronus looks pretty cool, but definitely want to pick these guys up. There he is in Robot. There he is in Dinosaur. You can put little Prime Masters in there, so he has a little baby carrier right there, and that looks adorable. Actually, it looks pretty silly, so yeah, definitely silly. So here is the close-up. So there it is. There it is. If you want to read the bio, you can pause and read that on your own time. And look, here he is with his Prime armor. Here are the other little Prime Masters that he works with. And yep, that's pretty much it for the packaging. Let's go ahead and get Slug out of box and see what we think. So here we have Slug out of the packaging, and I've got to say, I've got mixed feelings about this figure. For the most part, I really do like it. I think really it's the size of these Dinobots that are kind of getting under my skin. They just seem too small. And while I like the fact they're getting them out to us in individual robots, I really kind of wish they would have put them together in a pack like Devastator with the larger figures. I think Predaking is going to come out like that here this year, and I just feel like Dinobots should be on that scale. And with that complaint out of the way, this is actually a very nice homage to the G1 toy. I think they did a really good job with the sculpt and the paint. Everything looks right on it from what I remember as a kid. So that definitely works with me, and I am a big appreciator of that. He does come with his little Prime armor that basically looks like he's wearing one of those little honcho backpack thingies that parents wear for little kids. There he is with it on there. Yeah, I mean, that's just, yeah, it's dumb. I'm not using that. That'll be used for the Gestalt when I put that together. Just like Swoops, you can take this little clear piece out. It is a placeholder to put a Prime figure in there, like that, and I think it's the same one as Swoops. Let me see. Are they the same? Yeah, they look exactly the same to me. Yeah, so these are exactly the same footy pieces. So, yeah, is what it is. If I can get this piece back in here. Oh no, now it won't go. Just go this way. Yep. Goes this way. Lord, come on now. Maybe. There he goes. Okay, so yeah, same exact foot pieces to build the dinosaur, Dino King, or Volcanicus, I guess his name is. Alright, so we're going to get these out of the way. So the robot itself, definitely cool. I like it as far as articulation goes. He does have some movement here in his head, but it's kind of hard because he's got the big dinosaur helmet going on there. He always reminds me of a football player. It seems like his body should be a little bit wider, though, for some reason. I don't know. He's got a ball joint up here at the top, and he can move that all around. His elbow is very nicely ratcheted. I do like that. He really doesn't have any movement in his hand except downward a bit, and that's for transformation. There is articulation in the waist, which is nice. I do dig that. He's got a ball joint. He can kick that far forward, kick all the way out. He's got the splits. This ball joint seems like it's going to loosen over time. It's just not as tight as this one. And he's out of focus. All right, so there we go. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. Hopefully it does not get too terribly loose, but some floor polish should fix it. He does have a twist at the upper thigh under the ball joint, which is nice. And then he's got a joint at the knee right there, and that's pretty much it. The feet are static. And yeah, that's pretty much articulation on the figure. Now his horns do move. There is rotation in these horns up here, so you can kind of close them up a little if you want to kind of hide them back there. Doesn't really matter to me. I remember the old toy, you could see his horns hanging out to the back of the head, so that's good enough for me. So taking a closer look at the figure itself, I love the head sculpt on this guy. I think it looks really good. All the paint is done really well on the figure. He's got the nice big eyes. I like the Autobot logo that's stamped on his chest there. The red looks good. I love the gold detail on the head of the Dinobot. I don't like the horns. They seem droopy. They need to be more pointed upward to me. And the crest around the dino head, I don't particularly care for. It needs to be a chromey color. I may try to get one of those chrome markers and kind of chrome that out and kind of change that a little bit. Everything else looks pretty decent. I do wish the crest and the dinosaur head had some articulation and the crest was up off the body. But those are probably the biggest gripes. It's not bad, but it's not great. Now looking at the midsection of the figure, again, the rest of the body is designed accurately, looks good. I like how it hides the arm port with the dino, bottom of the dino mouth. The fact that it has waist swivel is very nice. I wish that there was some paint difference on the arms, just a lot of gray. I feel like the toes should be chromed out or something, or gold, but the original toy, the toes on the dinosaur modes were the same gray color, so can't really fault it for that. I do like how on the legs it's kind of a black chrome, kind of a charcoal chromey looking color, or just a charcoal shiny color, so that looks nice. I definitely dig that. And he's got the gun, and they did have guns in the show, but for some reason I prefer my Dinobots with swords and handheld weapons. It just seems more primordial to me. I don't know. And then he's got the big old round dino backpack right there, which, it is what it is. It doesn't really, take away from the figure in the robot mode, but it definitely simplifies the transformation. And then finally, taking a look at the legs of the figure, these work out really well. They're nice and big and bulky. He stands nice. I wish there was some foot articulation in it, though. That would have been nice. And a little bit more articulation in the dinosaur legs. They're just kind of awkward when you get into dino mode, but I do like the thighs of the dinosaur, the way they've got that painted in the plastic. Very nice. And then I like how the tail tucks into the back of the legs. There's not a lot of gappage on this figure, and that is definitely a plus in design. Now, Slug here is actually the first real Dinobot that we get in the line, because Swoop is a pterosaur, which is not a dinosaur. So I gotta be Rulius Maximus there and point that out. And I love the Dinobots. I really do as a kid. This was always one of my favorites. I had him as a kid. So it was definitely cool to see him come out in the new generation. So let's go ahead and transform him into his Triceratops mode and see what we think. So here we have Slug in his Triceratops mode, and it's not a bad mode, but it's not the greatest. People always complain that Scoria looked like a baked potato, and this guy definitely does as well. I think a lot of that comes from the frill here. Unfortunately, it's just kind of laying flat on the dinosaur. I wish that was raised upright. These horns need to be more pointed out to me. And then the tail just isn't long enough for me. It needs to be maybe about like that long. I think it would have been a little bit cooler. Again, those are kind of minor gripes, but they're design details that would have made this good a figure into a great figure. The other thing that would have made this really great is make it bigger. It's just not big enough. For me, it's a dinosaur, and I just wish it was bigger. The details, however, on the figure are very, very nice and remind me a lot of the old G1 toy. So just kind of a close-up here. I love the look of the head. I love the clear horn there in the middle. They did the same thing with this guy that they did with Swoop, where it's transparent plastic and they painted it gold. Very nice. I love the Autobot logo right there. Very, very nice. Detail is good. You can open the mouth up a little if you want, actually a lot. It just looks a little goofy, very frog-like. If they had another hinge right there, I think that would have looked a little bit better. Don't particularly care for these legs. They look kind of weird to me. Again, I wish this was more chrome. I remember this being chrome as a toy, and it's really just kind of the same color as the rest of the body, like the black paint. This is amazing. I love this. The black and the clear plastic and the gold look nice. The little sticker-like pieces back here, very good. Same treatment back here on the tail, clear plastic with the gold paint. I definitely dig that. We got the gold up there, very, very nice. Wish we had a little bit more articulation in the legs, but again, it is what it is there. And I kind of wish these were either gold or chrome, but in the toy, this is accurate. So this is much more like the actual toy itself. You can take the weapons and mount them onto the dinosaur. I think they've got that gun right there. And then we get the prime armor. You can mount that. Let's see, this might be Swoops actually, but it's all the same stuff. Let's see. I think they have it mounted this way. This probably works a little bit better. It eats up more of the back of the dinosaur, so yeah, you could do that if you so wanted to. Now, the cool thing about this, I will say, go ahead and take this piece out here. So you can put that on like that, and then if you wanted to, you could have this mounted in here. Oh, come on now. So mount the gun up this way, like that, and then grab yourself a little headmaster. Alright, so I've got Hot Rod's little headmaster here, and if you really wanted to, you can mount this little guy in here, like this. Put his little hands up. And boom, there he is. It's just the camera a little like this. And we've got a little Dino Rider, which is very cool. I do like that. It works a lot better with the actual dinosaurs than it does with Swoop. And it just kind of gives them a little Beast Rider, and I think that is a fun play gimmick. Here we have Dinobot Slug or Slag with Dinobot Swoop, and yeah, I mean, it's just not scaled right. Swoop should be smaller, and he seems bigger in dinosaur mode or dino mode, because he's not a dinosaur, he's a pterosaur, and that's very important to distinguish them from each other. But yeah, in reality, this thing is massively huge, and it just seems too small. I really don't mind this guy being a deluxe figure, but he definitely needs to be a Voyager figure in scale, and it just, I don't know, he's just way, way tiny in comparison. But that gripe out of the way, and it's a big gripe. Oh, get it? See what I did there? They do look cool sitting side by side. So is Dinobot Slug from Power of the Primes something you want in your Transformers collection? Well, if you're collecting the entire series, you're definitely going to want it. If you're a Dinobot fan, I think you're going to like this figure. It's not the greatest set of Dinobots so far, but it's not the worst. I think was it Fans Toys? There are a lot of third-party companies that had their Dinobot figures. I think those are probably a little cooler than these are. These are definitely a lot cheaper, but they also kind of show in the size and the quality of the figure. And when I say quality, I don't mean that it's like badly done. I just mean they could have done a little bit better. Like, I would have liked to have seen some articulation in the head. I don't like the way the horns are designed on it. They need to be pointing upward a little bit more. And I would have liked the crest on the dinosaur to have been more of a silvery color, chrome color versus the same gray as the rest of the body, and have it raised off of the body from what it is. That being said, for a $15 figure, this is actually pretty decent. Size, it needs to be bigger. It's a Dinobot. I wanted it at least as big as the Devastator figures. I think that would have been cooler. I think the Dinobots deserved to be in the Titan class if they were going to combine. Otherwise, they should have just made them all Voyager figures. That would have been cooler, in my opinion, and they would have sold because they're Dinobots. You could have charged $25 a piece. If they were bigger, people would have bought them because they are fan favorites. But again, it's not a bad figure. So, it's a C. It's a solid C for sure, maybe even a C+. So there he is, Slug, from Transformers Power of the Primes.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, thumbs it up. If you hate this video, thumbs it down. To watch more Ultra Maximus, click on the links to the right. Don't forget to subscribe and share, like us on Facebook, and look for more videos in the future.